all messages. Okay, so this message is about, well, this email is about, okay, so what we're talking about today is about disabled people, veterans, and senior citizens being left homeless by the privatized healthcare system. And so this is coming up an awful lot related to the privatized healthcare system. Oh, I wonder what happened. My sticker didn't work this time. So I guess I think I'm still on for right now. But the question, I mean, the question really doesn't matter in the video as far as that goes for me, because of the fact then I just get a bunch of kids. I got a bunch of people then who want shout outs, which I don't mind doing shout outs to people, but then it kind of takes away from a discussion. So the question and title of the video is related to people who are left homeless without health care. But this one is the privatized health care. The privatized health care is on Wall Street. And so, hello, Werner Will Joan, and then Saman Balagoda and Jacqueline. Hello. Wernerville Joan Meadow. Yeah. Now I see. Okay. There's a fraud and a scam that came up to me today through YouTube. It was this company and this woman. I called her up to talk to her. She was very, very pleasant, and I told her what I was going to do, and she said she was fine with that. And so what it was she said that she is literally paid by with Social Security money to call up people to try to entice people who are disabled, which have SSDI and SSI. These are two different programs, but they're still Social Security. So she wants to entice them to go to work, and she said they should be able to work at least 9 months without any hassle. She said they should be able to, in order to pay for their uh, disability. And I questioned her. Thank you for liking. Now, I asked her this question because I said, I didn't think that people who were disabled were supposed to have to work. I said, what if someone has a traumatic brain injury? And so you want them to have to work? Well, they have a traumatic brain injury, or what if they've lost a leg or they're in the wheelchair? Well, what she said was that most people actually get better. And I said, well, that's not entirely true. I don't know what she meant by most people get better. Now, if you have a broken leg, you're temporarily disabled, but then you do get better in that case. I don't you don't know what's going on, Werner. Well, what country are you in? Can you tell me what country you are in? Werner will Joan. What country are you in? The Spirit. What does that say? The Spirit Rookie or Cookie? Oh, fire spirit cookie. Okay. And now, so I wanted to raise this question for the very reason today is Veterans Day. And so veterans are met with, oh gosh, there's so much I want to say about something that I saw, but I'm just going to not. I was going to put feedback to a place, and I changed my mind about it. I was going to put feedback to a media company, and I changed my mind about it. Um, oh, about your name, Fire. It looks like Fire Spirit Cookie. I could be reading it wrong because I might be having a little bit of trouble. It says Fire Spirit Cookie if I read it correctly. Or did you just change your name? I mean, that's okay if you did. We're permitted to change our names. We can have as many YouTube channels as we want to have too. Um, oh, okay, Fire Spirit Cookie. Yeah. I like that font too. The font is really pretty. Um, so if I'm grumpy, it's not at you all. It's absolutely not at you all. I'm grumpy at the situation that's taking place in our country right now. I'm grumpy at the direction our country is going. So if I come across as a little bit grumpy sometimes, it's not at you guys. I wished I would have thought about that when I had my original YouTube channel and said that I was grumpy for other reasons. There was a multitude of reasons that I was grumpy. So you like the game called Cookie Run Kingdom. Oh, Cookie Run Kingdom. Yes. Oh my gosh, you reminded me of something. Yes. Cookie Run Kingdom. The internet uses cookies. I kind of forgot about that. So I'm trying really hard to not be grumpy. I'm trying to I have talked through the majority of the things that were bothersome to me, and I left it behind at a place that deserves to have it left there. Um, and I feel better about the direction where I've gone right now. Even though things are not perfect, but I really want things to be better for all of us. It's like I would love to be president. I would love to be a politician. I would love to do something related to still serving, not still, I've never really served my country. The only thing I did was I was worked for the post office. I loved that job though. I actually, and most of my jobs that I've had, I loved. Um, and even the retail, I loved doing retail. It's just that it didn't pay enough. Customer service, I really liked customer service. But what I will say is that I have seen people who are in customer service treated very poorly. And I think that I hope that people, when you come across someone who's doing customer service, that you're kind to them because they don't deserve to be treated poorly just because you think that they're serving you in some way. Um, treat them all kindly. That's what I say is please treat people who are in hospitality kindly because a lot of them may not be paid really well. And so, just remember that, they're doing the best that they can with what they have. And so you're crashing out in real life. Okay, what do you mean you're crashing out in real life? Starts to spin. Oh, you're crashing out in real life. Um, I know what it's like to crash out in real life. The best thing you can do is talk to someone. Talk to me here. Write to me in my comment section. I have been there. I've crashed out in real life. I know what it's like. And so some of you who are going through it, I've been there. I know what you're going through. And for me, sometimes you just have to cry. You just have to cry no matter how old you are. You just have to cry. You just have to find a place and cry. Um, it's not going to solve anything, but you're going to feel better. You start to spin with Cookie Spirit. You crashed out when I got myself in real life on your phone. What does that mean? You crashed out when you got yourself in real life on your phone. Simple things that bring you joy. Okay, let's look at this and we'll post this question. Okay, this one did post. The other one didn't. This is a better question to ask. Okay. So my spirit guide, my cookie spirit guide. Yeah, that's what it is. My cookie spirit guide. My fire spirit cookie guide is helping me with some questions, and I like that. I appreciate that. Oh, on your phone. Okay, something crashed out on your phone in real life, and what is going on? You're having some kind of issues or something. Um, oh, you want some joy? You want someone to bring you some joy. Okay, so I'm not so sure what you're talking about. Um, so yeah, it's hard. I'm telling you, it's hard. When you crash on the internet, you crash and you burn hard. Especially if you have been through, maybe I shouldn't even talk about it because it's a place that I want to get out of. Um, you know what else crashing is though too is when you've had a job. You've had a job. The job is good paying, and then you lose your job. That's a crash as well. I had a wind archer cookie plush on your head. I don't know what a wind archer cookie. I have heard of archer cookies. I have heard of that before. Um, yeah, what job is that that's kind of scary? Well, I've had a lot of jobs before, and you know what? I've quit jobs. There's two jobs that I quit after having them one day. And one of them I quit because my son was more important to me at the time. And so it was a retail job working for a retail store. And the woman told me that I would be losing points for doing the job if my son called me at work if he was scared. And so I said, okay, well, I said, this doesn't sound like it's a job for me if I'm going to get fired anyway after so many points and my son needs help or he's scared or something, then I'm going to get fired anyway. So I said, I don't think I'm going to go any further with the rest of the orientation. And so the first day was just orientation. She did pay me for being there. Oh, no, it's not your fault that it happened. It's not your fault at all. It's just that if they would have had something different, I would have taken the job because I thought it was kind of fun to be able to possibly have I was just going to be working at Sears. This was over 20 years ago. And I think they were paying like $8 an hour, which at that time, it was a little bit higher than minimum wage, but I needed a job. And seek the Lord while he may be found. Call him while he is near. Yeah, well, I mean, I can cry out to God and um, God might not answer, so I don't know who I would talk to as far as that goes. Um, yeah, jobs are scary because right now, the way things are, needs everybody needs an income to survive. And so that's why I bring attention to homelessness as much as I do, because I have heavy, strong ties with the United States military, and I understand um, I understand what's going on more than maybe they think. I fully understand, and I'm kind of glad that I was taken out of YouTube. Um, I always I always compared myself to John F. Kennedy Jr. and when him and the two ladies he was with, they were in that plane crash, and um, I often thought, well, was my channel going in a bad direction? There's something that was, I was thinking something was going on. Now I know. I absolutely now I know. It's like I couldn't leave my family behind, even though, sometimes they can be difficult. Everybody knows family can be difficult, but I would prefer family in real life over the internet, you know? I mean, I find myself doing a lot less than what I used to do, even though I'm still on the internet. Oh my goodness, there's some things I do that are just piddly things to myself. I find myself finding solace in playing little games that are, just little games by myself. And um, so, yeah. Oh, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, thank you for subscribing. It's like everybody needs someone at some time or another, and there's a lot of people who don't have anyone, and I know I don't. I've said that before. I've even said that when I was married. What I said was, "Oh, hey. Yes. Oh, you changed your name to Cookie Game now." Okay, so did you have something you wanted to say, or oh hey, oh hey. I don't know what's going to happen. You know something else I'm kind of disappointed in. I get all these stories about. I knew it was too good to be true. All these stories that the government shutdown had ended, which I didn't think was true. But see, I don't have. I'm not watching TV, so I have no idea. And here, come to find out, um, here, what's going on is that only part of it's been approved. It's just the other part of, and I'm thinking, how can they say that the government shutdown is going to end when Congress isn't even there? So you just came on this chat actually, so you're new. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for coming by and being new. Um, I see new people all the time, and I scroll through, and I see new people in the chat all the time. I mean, for crying out loud, YouTube has what, like 500 million people, and so um, I really wish that I really wish I was like in a place where I could speak freely. And I mean, there's someone else who claims that you have to show your face to be on YouTube. I don't think that's true. So what he is claiming, what this other guy is claiming, is that you have to show your face to be on YouTube, um, in order to get more followers. I don't think that that's true. I don't think that's true. And so the thing with YouTube is that, when I started, I'm going to share this. When I started out on YouTube, I had huge, huge insecurities about a lot of things. And actually, I thought I dealt with a lot of them anyway. And I just kind of liked myself as I was. And I still do. It's just right now it's been challenging because of everything that's been going on. I've talked about that. I have other videos about it. And right now I just don't feel like talking about that stuff. So maybe there will come a time that I do in the future, but I just don't feel like talking about it right now. But I probably will. I think there will come a time that I will talk about it again because it'll trend back on around, and but I have to kind of stay out of wow, you have so many subscribers, I want to be like you. Well, I don't have that many. I think I have 1,032 subscribers, right? Um, that's not that many subscribers. Um, so. Oh, I like watching small YouTubers too. I have this belief that you can be a small YouTuber. That I have a belief that you should be able to be a small YouTuber and make a living. I really do. I have that belief that you shouldn't have to, I, that being on YouTube should not be about subscribers. I always felt that way. Even when I had my other channel, I kind of felt like that I could make a living on YouTube. I should be able to, and it not be based on subscribers and followers. Oh, you're 10 years old. Oh, oh my goodness, you're 10. Okay. I thank you for telling me so I know to not go down a um adult direction related to words and things like that. Because I like to keep it in the PG area, parental guidance, but not anything bad or any heavy topics. I know sometimes I go into the heavier topics at night on someone else's live stream. A lot of people do. Oh, you are 9. Okay, you're 8 and 9 years old. 910. Um, and so yeah, I know. I don't know what to say. What kind of things do you guys like doing? Do you like playing games? What do you do on the internet? Do you like coloring or Zentangling? Because one of my favorite things to do actually in live streams is draw. That is my favorite thing to do right now. My absolute favorite thing. And I don't have. That's why I wish I kind of had a set up in a place where I could do things and do what I need to do, but I don't have that right now. And I don't know what I'm going to do. Stop, same, E, same. What do you mean same? What's same? There is someone who's 9 here and you are 10. Okay, do you want me to block you? I don't want to block you. Um, I mean, I don't want to block. Do you want me to block you guys? Or, I mean, oh, do art. Yeah, I have been doing art. Oh, you do art too. Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You do art too. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot and I mean, art is a very deep, um, rabbit hole as far as that goes with content creation. Because people have a lot of different and varying degrees of what they consider art is. And so so you like playing Minecraft and Roblox? Yeah, I know that's very popular. Minecraft and Roblox right now is still very popular. Um, I actually had thought that YouTube, so you're just saying that, no, just saying that, well, 9 is right next to 10. Oh, you're saying that 9 is right next to 10. Okay. Well, I'm noticing a big slowdown in chat, and I don't think that it's just because we're having a holiday. I'm noticing a big slowdown in chat, and you don't really like online games too much. I'm not, I like playing the solitaire games, the games that are kind of games I can play by myself. I don't feel like I have to play games with other people to play games. I just like playing by myself. Google has a lot, they always did. And in fact, I'm beginning to think that some of the games that I see on YouTube right now might be some of the same games that Google had when they had Google Plus, and now they're because some of them it's like, my gosh, I've played this before, and where have I played this at? The only thing I can conclude is that Google had some of those games on Google Plus, and I started playing them, and then I ended up, and then they ended Google Plus, and so for me there was kind of a break where I would make some content, and then I would just play some games, and I was trying to figure out this collaboration stuff. Now that I know what collaboration is about, it's not all it's cracked up to be. Name the results of games if you type on Google, like if you type Pac-Man on Google, you can play Pac-Man. Yes, Pac-Man is, I think yeah, Google still has, I think they have a Pac-Man on playables. I play Tropical Island Merge. I play that one a lot. I play the Snake game on there a lot. I play oh gosh, I can't remember what it's called. I play the matching game I love that one. I totally love the matching game. That's not what it's called. It's called something. Maybe I should go turn the computer on and tell you what I play. That's what that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get off my lazy behind. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up and go over here, and I'm going to tell you what games I play on playables. Um, and it's kind of nice because they don't seem to be real heavy games. And when I say heavy, what I mean by that is heavy in the sense of bogging things down, because I'm just playing by myself. I'm not playing with anybody else. And so, you know, oh goodness. Oh, okay. Let me see here. Let me get this on, and I'll tell you what I play. Okay, Tuesday, November 11th. Okay, let me see here. I'll tell you what I play here. Okay, I'm getting there. And I don't think it's really necessary. You guys don't need to see me playing games on screen, do you? I don't think that's necessary, is it? I think it's... Oh, I've played the ice cream game, which is ASMR DIY. I've played that one. I play Fruit Clash. I've played Vehicle Masters. Oh, Vehicle Masters is fun because I pick up police cars and haul them around. I play Fill the Fridge. I play Good Puzzle Sort Challenge. Good Puzzle Sort Challenge is the one I called the matching game. That one is fun. I have a hard time with the paper airplane. It's called Epic Plane Evolution. I have a hard time playing that one. I have played golf. I've played the Queen at Restaurant game. The Snake Clash. I play that one. Grand Theft Auto. Is that what that is? Is Grand Theft Auto? What else is on here? Okay, I've played Fairyland Merge, which is very similar to Tropical Island Merge. I have played Rise Up Balloon Game. Oh my gosh, Prison Life is hilarious. I've played the Prison Life on Google Games, on the YouTube playables. Now, Prison Life has Alcatraz in it. And so Prison Life is a fun game. It's kind of similar to the hotel game, My Perfect Hotel. I've played Find Out. I've played Room Sort. I've played Color Fill. I've played Seat Away. Seat Away is like a bus game where you make room in the bus but you have to coordinate it and move the seats. So because there's certain color people who are sitting in certain color seats. I've played a little bit of Ludo carts, not a lot. I've played Train Miner. I've played Twisted Tangle. Now I'm stuck on Twisted Tangle. On the level where I'm at right now, there's a tangle that I can't get untangled. So I'm stuck on that one. I've thought about actually starting over on that one to see if maybe I can make it better, but I don't know if I can or not. Um, I play Scavenger Hunt. Scavenger Hunt is a lot of fun. So that's a game where you actually look for you scavenge through the scene, if through the well, it is a scene, you know, like a park or something like that, or a carnival of some sort. You look through it and you try to find the items that are listed at the bottom. So there's a list of items that you look for on your screen, and then when you get all of them, then you advance to other levels. I have played Go Escape. I played Cat Escape? I'm not sure if I've played that one or not. I have played Tower Crash. I have played Word Search Puzzle. I have played State.io online PvP. And that's where there's two of them now. Oh wait, there's two of them. Which one have I played? I've well, they both seem to be the same. I've played State.io, but there's also a second State.io, which is online PvP. I've played Draw Chamber. That one is fun. Draw Chamber is a lot of fun, and that's like a racing little game. And then I've played Hide and Seek. I've played Billiards. I played Parking Rush. I think I solved Parking Rush. So I think I went as far as I can with Parking Rush. I've played, yeah, there is Pac-Man right there. I have not played Pac-Man. Kitchen Bazaar, I believe, is the one. Okay, let's see what you said. Let's see. You love Rise Up. Did you know that if you type on the search bar on Google Thanos, are having Gauntlet. I don't know what Infinity Gauntlet is. I've never heard of that. I've played Tiletopia. I think I've played a little bit of Cards of the Undead. I have played Mahjong Solitaire. Oh, I have played Pin the UFO. I've played Harvest. I have played Color Water Sort. Absolutely. I have played Magic Tiles 3. Now, Magic Tiles 3 is hard. It reminds me of that game on TikTok where they had music. I've played Parking Lot Jams. Now, Parking Lot Jams just started over by itself on me. So, Parking Lot Jams, I guess it just starts over every once in a while. I've played Race Master. I think Race Master is a lot of fun. That one's not as hard as some of the other ones. I've played Guess Their Answer. I've played Fusion. I've played Paper IO. Paper IO is fun. I've played Hill Climb Racing. That one's hard. Hill Climb Racing is kind of hard. I've played Draw the Line. That one's hard sometimes. I've played Pokeball. Pokeball is a lot of fun. I've played Attack the Hole. I have played Polysphere. I've played Merge Master. I've played Dig Deep. I have played Farmland. I've played Idle Restaurant, Words of Wonder, Today's Hurdle, and Zoo Happy Animals. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at here with my games. Fill the fridge. Fill the fridge. That is not. Oh yeah, Good Puzzle. That's the one. I like Good Puzzle, but Good Puzzle gets really challenging though when I can't match them. Sometimes I have a hard time matching them, and I don't have enough coins. I haven't earned enough coins, and then sometimes I just kind of get stuck, and then it becomes kind of hard. I think there's more games than this, though. Let's see. I think there's a lot more games. Let me see here what other games there are. Sometimes I can find, so when I go there, sometimes it says there's new games. Oh, the Ronald Reagan Library is having a Veterans Day commemoration at the Reagan Library. Okay, so let me see here. Have I heard of Candy Kids? No, I have not heard of Candy Kids, no. I don't know what Candy Kids is. These are just all games that... Well, there was another one that I was playing related to Fruit Clash. Now, Fruit Clash is similar to one that I was playing on a different platform. Here's a Google Easter egg for you. Did you know that on Google, if you type on the search bar on Google and you write Christmas is going to have a little mini game? Okay, let me go see. I'll go look and see what. So if I type in the Google search, Christmas is going to have a little mini game. Okay, let me go see what I get with, okay, Google search. Christmas is going to, Christmas is going to the dogs. That's what came up. Christmas is going to have a little mini game. Okay. Okay. That's funny. Christmas is going to the dogs is what came up first. Okay, so the videos that came up is DIY Christmas Party, Epic Christmas Party Games. I'll tell you who does it. Benson Brothers does the DIY Christmas Party Games. Epic Christmas Party Games is Sean McHowell. Top 5 Christmas Party Games for 2025. New and so much. Family Moments. 4 fun Christmas games for your family will love. It's the Love Glue Creations. So there's 4 games that showed up there. So can you also see on Google what Candy Kids are? Okay, I will look and see what Candy Kids are. Let me look here and see what Candy Kids is. What is Candy Kids game? What is Candy Kids game? So it says there's no specific widely known game called Candy Kids game. The term Candy Kids refers to a subculture within the American rave and EDM electronic dance music scene known for making and exchanging colorful handmade beaded jewelry called candy. The act of exchanging candy is a ritualistic and meaningful part of the culture, embodying the philosophy of peace, love, unity, and respect. The exchange typically involves a specific handshake and is a way for ravers to form connections and cherish shared moments of an event. So Candy Kids, how to play. So there is a game called Candy Kids by Moose Crew. So that's something a little bit different. So there's 2 things. There's a game and there's a Candy Kids, which is, it sounds like a subculture that has a different meaning from the games, which that's kind of fun to actually go in that direction because it's like Skibbity Toilet. I love Skibbity Toilet with a passion. I totally love Skibbity Toilet with a passion. And I do make up, I'll tell you this right now, I've told you guys before, but you're always different people. I do make up fake husband names for Skibbity Toilet. So I have fake husbands that I use for Skibbity Toilet. And, you know, so hopefully if I ever get married again, that won't be a problem for my new husband if I ever get married again, because I make up fake husband names for Skibbity Toilet and for content creation. And so it's actually a protective mechanism too. So, you know, I don't tell anything too much about myself anymore. I used to. What XD? What is an XD? Little horn? You guys, what do you have on here? A little horn? You got little horn on here. Oh, unicorn. Are you talking about unicorn? And so I think it's for me especially, and for other people, especially children right now, especially children, it's a bad idea if you're in media to be talking about your personal life. Um, and so when I'm an adult, and so, people could easily say, oh, you knew better. Well, no, I didn't. I really didn't. With the things that was going on with me, I had no idea that things would go in the direction they did with media. And there's just some people who are jealous. I mean, I suppose they could be jealous of you just having 1,000 subscribers, which that's not that many. Um, I thought it would be fun to have 1 million, but what is 1 million subscribers going to do for me? You know, for the comparison and analogy that I always make is that when you go to a job, you don't have followers and subscribers that you take to a job. You know what your followers and subscribers are? That's the money you make. The dollar bills, the greenbacks. That's your followers and subscribers that you want to go into the bank. You want to be able to survive. You want to be able to live comfortable and have a productive future in your life. That's what I think. I want money following me. That's what I want, money follow. Now this is going to be funny. Um, I have a feeling somebody in the future could be a smarty pants and paint up a car or put money on a car or something, and there's just a car that's just a complete giant dollar bill or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Um, I mean, I think I've seen cars that are painted up like money before. So that's not the kind of money that I want following me. I want real money, not fake money. I want real money. I don't want cars following me. I want money following me into my bank account. That's what I want. But what I want and what happens is two different things. So nothing ever goes how I want right now. Well, some things do. I can't say that nothing. Some things do. Some things that are important do happen. Things that are important that I need. When it comes right down to things that are important for me, for my well-being right now, things do go my direction, and I am so thankful for that. That I am very thankful for every day. And I'm not going to elaborate on that. So, it's like, but I really do. I wish I could be a politician. I think it would be hard, probably. I know it would be hard because I know right now, I know those guys are having a very hard time with what they're doing. Because, okay, this is what I think about. This is what I think about is that the people who went into politics to Washington, D.C., some of them have been there for 4 years. They went there, they had ideas of what they wanted to happen, and it didn't happen. I think they probably learned some things, so they can go back to their local community and maybe they can orchestrate some sort of a change. Or maybe not. But you know what I was thinking about, though, too? That woman in Los Angeles. Oh my gosh, all those politicians in Los Angeles who used to be in Washington, D.C., and now they went back to Los Angeles, and they're making Los Angeles even worse. I think there should be some antitrust with politicians going from the higher Congress to be a city leader. Don't you guys think that? So, like with Karen Bass, they said she was in Congress. Why should she be able to go be a city mayor now in Los Angeles? I mean, that's being a career politician, and so you're going back to the city Now, so she has ties with people in Washington, D.C., so it's sort of nepotism in a sense that she already is connected to the people in D.C., and now she's expecting things to go to Los Angeles for her city. And maybe she was thinking about having a run one day for president, possibly. I don't know. But to me, I think that, okay, if you're going to be a politician, maybe they just need to say, well, limit it to 8 years. Nobody can be a politician for more than 8 years, no matter whether that's local, federal, state. You got your 8 years, maybe 10. How about 10? I think 10 years would be good. It can be ran all at once or separate, however. But you don't get to do it all the time. Now, president, maybe that's a different one. Maybe president, there should be a little bit more leeway. I think that vice president should be separate. I don't think that a president should appoint a vice president. I think we should vote on a separate vice president. And so, you know why? So if they start the parties back up again, well, they still have the parties. I think we should vote on president and vice president, because think about this. You separate president and vice president, then we could have a Democrat president and a Republican vice president, and the American public could vote on it that way. So then it wouldn't be based on parties. I think that's an awesome idea. Yay me. I came up with a smarty pants idea, and I think it's a great idea. Hello, Violetta. And so I don't think that the president should be able to select a successor to them. I think that we should vote on them separately. But the thing is, it's like, well, it would take an act of Congress to have to change that or something. I'm not sure who. Because I was thinking, president is the only job where the president gets to choose his successor. And so if something happens to the president, then the vice president goes in the president's place. Well, I think the American public should be who votes for vice president, instead of the president having all these powers to select all these people. And so I think a lot of things have been put in, so your mom brings you joy. Well, that's nice. I'm glad your mom brings you joy. I wish I brought my kids joy. I wish I was near my kids. Now, granted, they don't want to hang out with me all the time. But, and I don't blame them. Gosh, my goodness, I don't want to take up the time of my kids all the time. That's never was my, and I didn't want to take up the time of my own parents either. Well, the thing is that, my mom, I don't know, she told me one time, she said specifically that my dad kind of missed us when we would go visit, and he wished we could stay longer. But my mom said she was usually good with just a weekend visit, like maybe 2 or 3 days, and that was all. You were supposed to take Christmas. Yeah, I don't have anybody to spend Christmas with, actually. So I haven't had anybody to spend Christmas with in years, several years. And, with my current living situation, I have nobody, absolutely nobody. And that's hard. It's actually hard for people to understand. If you're a military person, a military family, you understand it. You understand that. I always understood there were soldiers who didn't have families. There were soldiers who came from nothing. They go in the military. It's all walks of life. Every culture. They had nobody. And we were told that ourselves. We ourselves had nobody. So for me, it was fun to actually spend time with the soldiers. And when I was younger, I didn't have a lot of money, but you know what? There was sometimes we would have a turkey or something, and if we had food, I mean, they would come over sometimes. Yeah, we drank beer and stuff like that. Did things that people like to do. Sometimes I would cook. I wasn't the best cook of all, but they ate the food. I cooked them pancakes and waffles and breakfast, bacon and eggs if we had the money. But usually we didn't have the money. So if I didn't have I couldn't afford to feed my own kids. It's like it made it hard for me to feed a bunch of hungry men who, um, they would have been fed better with the rations they had at the barracks than what I was giving them, because I just didn't have the money. I had to take care of my kids. I mean, there was one time my cousin, he was in the military and at a place where I used to be with my first husband. And so he was always coming over because he wanted to be around family. And there was one night I asked him, I said, he kept staying and staying later and later. And I'm like, well, do you want me to cook something? And I hadn't even prepared anything. The only thing that I was waiting for him to leave before I started cooking, because I knew I didn't have any money for food. And and my husband was not spending all the money on beer. And that's actually what he had told my grandma actually. He said that my ex-husband was spending all our money on beer. It's like with what he spent on beer was maybe it might have been back then I think we could get a case of beer for $10. And yeah, $10 went a little bit further for food back then, but it still wouldn't have been enough money for food that would have had me cooking anything that was elaborate or anything like that, because we barely got by. So $10 that he spent on himself just to have some beers, to me that wasn't a big deal. I didn't care. It was not a big deal because I thought my brain was always in the place of that, he had things he wanted to do. He wanted to spend some time away. And he was in the military. He'd have to go to the field sometimes. So I tried not to be a hover wife. I really did. I tried not to be a hover wife because of the fact it's like I knew that I didn't even think about at that time that he was doing the hardest job in the United States at that time. And he was. He really was. Being in the Army is the hardest job in the United States. Being a police officer is right up there. It's very close ties. A police officer, a fire department person, and first responder is a good choice of words. First responder, working in the hospitals, right up there. They save lives, just like the military does. But the military is probably the hardest, and their job is death. And you go to war, you sacrifice your life for your country. You sacrifice a lot of things for your country. You sacrifice your family. You're away from your family. Where, some people who are first responders, they might be able to have family close by. So, so I always thought, if he wants to drink some beer, who cares? Drink the beer. It's like, I sometimes I would drink with them, sometimes I wouldn't, So the thing is, when you got kids, the one thing I learned is when you have an infant baby, the last thing you want to do is be hungover. And you're not supposed to drink. You're not supposed to be drinking it anyway, because it sounds like that it contaminates the milk somehow. And so Cookie Game says, oh wait, was a glitch where I was trying to say it. You have to type in the Google, like, the Christmas that was, you need to type on Google just Christmas. Oh, I don't know. I have no idea. And so, yeah, so for military families, especially spouses. So one of the things is that they were talking about on the news and stuff was the fake news. They were talking about military families and how I've questioned these fundraising groups. I have to. Because the fundraising groups are, please send us $20 a month for this, for soldiers. And it's like, how is that helping soldiers? Or are you more about helping yourself? So you're raising money for advertising something. You can go on YouTube and make it free. I'm making it for free. I'm making free advertising talking about the real things that happen with homelessness in military families. Why can't legacy media do the same thing? Make it for free and use your platform for good instead of asking people for money to fund your organizations for yourself. Because we know you're not giving the money to the veterans. We already know that. So the veterans aren't taken care of. And so legacy media is full of crap. And so they've become a fraud. No, I'm not. If you don't watch anime. And so that's why I think it's almost poetic justice right now, watching the fall of legacy media. They always said you see the same people on the way down that you saw on your way up. So the people who were elevated, those of us at the bottom, we see them. And some of us just were trying to do things just to get by. And so that's why I spend my time talking about things that I do related to military families. Noel, I believe that I remember you. We're in here a couple of times. And so that's why I say the things that I do about military families. When we see these things on TV and they're asking for money, it doesn't make any sense to me why these organizations are asking for money. The only thing I can think is that if they're fundraising for advertising, well, go on YouTube and make it for free. You can make free advertisements on YouTube, can't you? I know I can. I can make free advertisements and advertise things by myself. That's what I can do. I can, if I, and I'm not, the thing is, I'm just having an opinion. Nobody's sponsoring me. I have no sponsors. I'm not earning any revenue or anything at all. I'm just having my own little opinion. Oh, your dad passed away in war? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry to hear that your dad passed away in war. A lot of people had. So what war was your dad in? Was he over in Iraq? Is that where he was at? Was he in Iraq or is that something you want to talk about? I should have asked you that first. Well, I know a lot of names got changed in things that were posted on the internet, especially Wikipedia. And I've always said it would have been nice for people if we were able to sometimes I don't know what to say related to, sometimes just saying I'm sorry feels empty. To say I'm sorry that someone passed away. Because I feel like it's final. And so I don't know what to say. I really don't. Because I've had a baby that died when it was an infant. And, I knew at that time I had to rationalize that people were saying sorry. I'm sorry all the time because they didn't know what to say. And they don't. When people say I'm sorry, that means I don't know what to say. When there's silence, people don't know what to say. When there's silence. So silence is a form of silence and I'm sorry are comparable because people just don't know what to say. There's nothing their words can do or say to make you feel better. So when you're met with silence, it's kind of the same thing as I'm sorry. And I know myself that I might seem insensitive. I don't mean to be insensitive, but I don't know what to say, but I've been through it myself too. I've lost a baby when the baby was newborn. And so I understand. My kid's dad was wounded in action in Operation Desert Storm. So, and there was a person that died. So there's actually two men who I knew died in war. Two men I knew personally, actually. And, so that's something I always remember. I always remember who they are. They died in war. I knew them personally, and they died. So, you just don't know what to say. And so I've seen the path of, the thing for me, I just listen, I just watch. When I was on the internet with the one lady who, the more recent one who, actually her husband passed away, I think in Iraq from an IED. And so she didn't really have much of anything. She didn't have much related to taking care of herself. And, so she got the money from the $250,000 from the government, but she said they paid her in a lump sum. And well, her husband actually, he was National Guard at that time, and so she didn't have. So she said she went on a couple of vacations, but she said she's kind of saying that she was a poor money manager and she didn't have a whole lot of she didn't have a whole lot of money management skills. And so